Hello there, it is Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out Odeon Chamber Strings by Insanity Samples. Insanity Samples have an already great reputation for creating dynamic libraries that are full of character. Now, their biggest project to date is a 16-strong ensemble Odeon Chamber Strings. The plan was to create a cinematic string library that sounds modern, filmic, and full of workflow features to speed up the composing process. Did Insanity Samples manage to achieve this? The short answer is a massive yes, but given their very attractive £125 intro offer price tag, this is one library that not only sounds incredible, but can peak its head above the crowd to stand out in an otherwise oversaturated string market. Odeon Chamber Strings downloads at around 28GB and runs in the full version of Contact. It's currently on intro offer of £125. In this video, we're going to check out the sounds and functionality of Odeon Chamber Strings, and I've thrown it into the all-important composing challenge. For this video, I allowed myself 1 hour to compose a piece of cinematic underscore. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Insanity Samples for sending over a copy of Odeon Chamber Strings. While we get the instruments for free, it doesn't in any way influence our thoughts, ideas or judgments. We are just working composers giving you our insights. I'd like to also mention that I have had a pre-release version of this library. So the final version may have a few little differences. However, at the time of recording, this was the most recent version. So without further ado, we're going to jump into Odeon Chamber Strings. Here we go, we have Odeon Chamber Strings from Insanity Samples loaded up in the full version of Contact 8. On the left hand side we can see exactly how the library is broken down. However, I have loaded up the ensemble patch so we can listen to the different articulations and get an idea of what the library sounds like. I'm using my faders to adjust the expression and dynamics. I'm leaving vibrato where it is at the moment, but I do have that mapped as well. And we're going to start off with some static longs. Now I've only got one hand free, so I'm going to play some chords with my right hand. Now, of course, I haven't gone all the way up using the expression, so I'm just going to hold down that E minor chord and just show the dynamic range. It is big. Yep, sounds absolutely gorgeous. Now, obviously, when you're composing, you're not going to be playing just sort of 1-3-5 triads. You're going to have more of an arrangement around it. I'm going to go straight to the expressive longs and just leave the expression dynamics around there because I can now play two hands with these. They sound absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. Now, of course, when I'm composing, I will be using expression dynamics along with those expressive longs, but the performance is gorgeous. Absolutely love them. Now we've got forte decrescendo. And then we've got sforzando crescendo. And I'm going to go through these quite quickly because there's a lot to cover in this library. Beautiful. Ricochet crescendo. By the way, these are all key switchable over here. Let's hear some basses. Lovely. Amazing. Staccato. Lovely. Staccatissimo. Brilliant. Spiccato. Apologies for a duff night there. I've got a slightly different setup for this video due to my mic stand falling apart prior to this recording. So, yeah, I'm not going to describe it, but I'm reaching over quite a lot, so I do apologise. Col Legno. And they've got Ricochet Staccato. Pizzicato. Let's go a little bit higher up. My all-time favourite short, Bartok Pizzicato. And they've got trills, and these are adaptive. So they can be semitone or whole tone. Flautando, which is probably one of my most overused long articulations. It sounds gorgeous high up as well. Beautiful. I've got tremolo. Always reminds me of the intro to Blackadder II. Especially lower down. Harmonics. gorgeous. And then we got some really cool effects. So we got pitch, chaos to unity. Love them. And then we've got pitch fours. Beautiful. Now, there's lots more going on with this library. So if we go into static longs, we can adjust the legato or turn the legato on. And now, if I try and hold down a chord, it doesn't happen. But we do have legato. Absolutely lovely. You can adjust the legato, so it can be velocity based. So when I was playing that, I actually missed one or two transitions out, but and you can see, depending on the velocity you use, if you use high velocity, it's fast legato. And then low velocity, you get slow legato. So it's very velocity sensitive, and you can adjust different parameters as well to suit your needs. So you can have legato going on, which is great. You just click a switch and you got true legato. How awesome is that? Now, the other thing that I find incredible about this library, apart from, I've not actually given my thoughts, the sampling, my goodness, the room sounds amazing and the performances are wonderful. And this is my kind of string library. I'm very, very picky. I like a certain timbre. And as soon as I loaded these strings up, it just really hit me. It just sounds incredible. So yeah, now if we go over here, we're in key switching at the moment, but I'm going to go to overlaying, and you can have different performance modes. So we've got performance 1 and performance 2. I'm actually going to go with performance 2, mainly because I love these expressive longs. Everything is velocity based. So if I play incredibly delicately, I do have true legato on, so I'm just going to turn that off. Silly. Okay, so we have different articulations playing depending on the velocity. Now you can change what you have going on if you want to. So if I want to turn off sforzando crescendo and I want just longs at the high velocities, I've got this really, really cool sort of 3 articulation situation going on. In fact, do you know what? I want spiccato as well. So of course I'm using 2 hands there. I had to leap over my mic stand. But yeah, I love the fact you can have all of this going on. Very, very cool stuff. So these performances are brilliant, and you can build your own performances. So 2 different modes. Now, I've stayed in the ensemble, but I have covered a lot of the instrument features, and these really speed up your workflow. If I go to the first violins now, and you can see we've got all of the same articulations, and I'm just going to use dynamics so I can sort of reach over to the top. Again, absolutely love them. Now, the vibrato slider, I'm just going to quickly put onto CC21, because that's what my fader's set up to. Now, if I bring up the dynamics and just hold this D note, we can see and hear how expressive the vibrato is. Okay, now I'm very picky when it comes to vibrato as well, and I love this vibrato because it is not too over the top when you're at the full. It's nice and gradual. And I think it's brilliant. Sometimes you have kind of like a fade or a crossfade, but it's either on or off. This is brilliant. And I haven't really remarked how amazing the violins sound. And that's, of course, the expressive longs. Now, if I go to true legato, static longs, and that's the adaptive velocity legato. And then just some random articulations. Some pizzicato, flautando. Again, turn legato off. Those gorgeous fragile strings, absolutely wonderful. And then harmonics. Absolutely brilliant. Let's load the second violins in comparison. And here they go. And the loading time is, considering you're getting all the articulations loaded, it's yeah, quite short, really. So this is violins 2. Beautiful. And let's do the expressive longs. I can't get enough of these. Absolutely beautiful. Bartok. Lovely. And we'll do some staccato. Lovely. Let's go for violas. The unsung hero of the string section. I don't know. I love violas. I'll use expression as well. Lovely. It sounded like I was making some kind of confession there. Late night on the Sampleist. Yeah, love violas. They sound incredible, don't they? Expressive longs. Oh, why not? Mysterious. Violas sound brilliant. Let's go to the cello. I'm going to just go straight in with the true legato for this. So static longs. In fact, let's use expression. In fact, I do love the lower register of the cello. Beautiful. And let's go spiccato. Lovely. And double bass. Decided to make a noise, did my computer. Double bass. I can't help it. Yeah, they sound brilliant. And let's go ricochet crescendo. Col Legno. They're incredibly dynamic. Brilliant. And then let's go flautando on the bass. Absolutely lovely. If you want that real richness, these octave patches are incredible as well. So we've got violin 1 and 2 octaves. beautiful. And then expressive longs. Feel like I'm a little bit quiet there. And I really like these pitch cares to unity. In octaves, they sound absolutely glorious. And let's just do some legato. Yeah, it's very, very quick as well, if you need it to be. And then the bass and the cello as well. Again, my computer beeped. It's a beepy evening. So of course, I should be using the mod wheel. Beautiful. There are a couple more pages. We've got a mixer, and there are actually, if I just go to this is balancing the instruments. However, if I go to the cello, for example, and load at the mixer window there, you can see we've got all of these different mics. So we got Decca outriggers, ambience, close pencils, close rhythm, close condenser, and then you can adjust the full mix. And then we've got effects as well. So we've got stereo spread. Some dramatic chords. Lovely. You can add delay. I mean, that's silly. And then obviously reverb as well, and there's different types of reverb. Here's Cathedral. And then you can EQ as well, which is absolutely wonderful. I'm just going to turn the delay and stereo off. Let's go back to the mixer. That's the mix of all of these. If I just want ambience, outrigger, sorry. Just ambient. Actually, I've done that wrong way around. There's our ambience. That's outriggers. Some close pencils. Yeah, so lots of mixing opportunities as well. And then here, the red key switches. Now, I don't have an instruction manual. If I turn off the key switches, all of these turn off. So I believe the red ones, if I go back to the performance page, the red ones, well, these ones are just, by looks of it, different overlaying performances, and these are different articulations. But you need to be in key switching mode. And I believe that's the different velocity. Yes, not velocity, legato control. So you can actually change those as you go, which is quite cool. And then that's true legato on, and I believe this is true legato off. There we go. So my recommendation is please do check out the Insanity Samples official walkthroughs, because I've actually, again, been lucky enough to see it. And yeah, there's a lot of depth to this library. But again, for me, it sounds incredible. And at the end of the day, I want a library that I can use in my compositions. And this is brilliant. So hopefully to prove that, I have made a short underscore composition, and I gave myself an hour, because a big part of the attraction of this library for me is not only does it sound great, but all the features it contains is going to speed up my workflow. So my theory is I lay down a piano sketch and then I record the strings around it. So it's all icy. It's to do with wildlife in icy climates. Hopefully you like it. Like I say, I gave myself an hour to compose, and once you've listened to it, we're going to check out my closing thoughts. After that rather icy composition, we are on the closing thoughts section of the video, and we're talking about Odeon Chamber Strings from Insanity Samples. There are lots of string libraries already on the market, and it is rather overcrowded, so when I'm buying a new string library, I always consider two factors. Firstly, how does it expand my composing palette? Secondly, how will it improve my workflow? Odeon Chamber Strings just sounds incredible out of the box, and I am very, very picky when it comes to the string libraries that I use. I don't like anything sounding too harsh, too thin. I've got crazy expectations about vibrato controls, and Odeon Chamber Strings just sound like cinematic strings straight out of the box. They are wonderful, and when I started playing with this library, I actually loaded up the expressive longs first, and I was absolutely blown away. They sound amazing. And then of course I worked my way through all of the different articulations, and there are lots of articulations, and they sound brilliant. The performances are exceptional. The sampling is amazing. Everything is clean, it's crisp, it sounds brilliant. So in terms of timbre, I love these performances. I love the sampling. In terms of workflow, it is such a clever instrument. I love so many features about this one. So we've got the true legato slider, and then we've got 4 different types of legato, as it were. And you can adjust the speed, the velocity. It's absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, we have the performance patches, and because they're velocity sensitive, you can get some really expressive performances as you go. Everything is key switchable, so it can be incredibly light on RAM in terms of footprint. And of course, you've got the mixer, the different mic options, you've got effects and onboard EQ. The vibrato slider for me is a highlight. There are so many string libraries with baked-in vibrato, and I like really exaggerated lyrical vibrato, and sometimes you just can't get that. And then there are other libraries where they have a vibrato slider, but it's kind of either off or on with nowhere in between. But this is incredible. It's very, very gradual. It's not too over the top, to the point where it just sounds really fake and MIDI. It's absolutely brilliant. So it ticks a lot of boxes for me. Of course, I am going to address the value for money aspect as well. At the moment, this library is £125 on intro offer. You're getting a full chamber string section with all of these different features, the legato, true legato at that, and all of these different articulations. It is incredible value for money. I wish this library was around in 2018 when I started making computer music again, because this would have been one of my most used string libraries. However, we are in 2025 and I've got to think, will I be using this library? And the answer is certainly. I can't wait to get composing using Odeon Chamber Strings. It's so versatile, and I have been lucky enough to hear the Insanity Samples demos before I made my own demo, and I heard some fantastic pieces. The traditional chamber performance, when you hear that demo, that is mind-blowing. It's so well written, sounds wonderful. And then there are some more sort of film and cinematic type demos, which again sound great. I went for the Icy Fragile Earth documentary. I love that kind of scoring and that underscore, and it does it so well. To me, it sounds amazing. So the next project I have where I need a smaller size chamber string section, these are the strings I'm going to be using. They just sound brilliant, and I can't speak highly enough of them. So it's one of those libraries when you download it and you play it for the first time, you are just grinning from ear to ear because it sounds so great. And every time you go through to the next articulation and the next articulation, it's just a joy to play. So yeah, I do recommend them massively, as you can probably tell. And like I say, I'm very picky when it comes to the strings I use. So I was really, really impressed with these strings. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Insanity Samples once again for sending over a copy of Odeon Chamber Strings ahead of time, so I can have plenty of time to get used to them and work with them and compose with them, and just spend a lot of time with them. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video. Of course, we'd love to hear your thoughts as well, so drop us a comment. What do you think about these strings? Are you thinking about picking them up? And then if you've not done so already, please check out our other videos on YouTube, and of course hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us to see the channel grow. We don't have any kind of advertising links or affiliate deals, so it's the best way you can support us. So until next time, keep making that beautiful music.